Hi, this is Chris Gallo, better known as Webhead on the comic forums. Long-time listener, since the days when Kevin was a regular and Peter was still Puerto Rican. Now it's time to send the kiddies out of the room and put on your headphones, because you're listening to Comic Geek Speak, episode 963, Storytime with Uncle Sal. Woohoo!
Welcome to Comic Geek Speak. I'm Brian Chrisman.
I'm Adam Murdo.
I'm Peter Rios. Yeah, it kind of throws me off a little bit because you say Brian, but I'm always expecting to hear Brian Deemer. So it's kind of funny to hear, you rolling off of the intro and saying Brian Chrisman.
Well, it's because, Mr. Deemer is out camping right now, I believe you said.
Guy way down south, right?
Yes.
We're short-staffed this week.
So I'm running the board.
Right, doing a hell of a job.
Oh, well, thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
The check's in the mail, right?
Yep.
Okay.
What do we got on tap today?
Oh, my goodness. Once again, we have Uncle Sal joining us on a myriad of topics. So
From Lucca to conventions to New York to even a little bit of a love advice.
Yes, yes.
Tighten up your laughing belts, folks.
That's right, yes. Hang on to your wigs and keys. All right.
You
got you running the show?
Yeah, Brian's out of town and Peter's out of town, so I'm manning the keyboards tonight.
Some fucking group, huh?
Yeah. It's tough to keep everybody in the same room at the same time.
I get the Jag-Off patrol again tonight, huh?
I knew that was going to come. I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, it's all right. The people, when they hear I'm on, they're like, oh, fuck it, let's get out of here. Let's wait for somebody important.
That's not true.
Let's wait for one of those old Jag-Offs from Marvel to come on, then maybe we'll come on.
You sound sick.
Oh, I'm all right. I got, physically, I'm fine. Mentally is a different story, but I'm all right,
Well, okay, all right. You just sound a little stuck. I don't know if you're a little tired.
I'm just, in the middle of fighting with these, still trying to get my packages back from Italy. So, yeah, it's always a beautiful thing when you hire guys to do shit for you, and they give you the we're not sure bullshit, and you're just like, I'm like, I'm sorry, what am I paying you for again?
Wow, because Lucca was a couple of weeks ago already. Wasn't it?
Yeah, but anytime you got anything coming from Italy, man, trust me. There's a reason why they were the first fuckers to surrender in the Second World War. I mean, that was no happy accident. That was they got overrun by superior. No, that was just like they're just tremendous fuck ups. I mean, you can get 10 Mexicans to do more by lunchtime than you can get half of fucking southern Italy to do, in like a year. I honest to God, every time I got to ship something back from Italy, and I mean literally every time I have problems. You'll call over there, and literally the guy will go, "Yeah, the box is still sitting here. We were wondering what we're supposed to, what we were going to do with this." I'm not bullshitting. I mean, that's how bad it is over there.
Wow.
And that's valuable stuff that you're waiting on.
That
right?
it's that siesta mentality that they have going on over there. It's just, Imagine a country full of Simone. That's what you got. And I mean, you think, oh, come on, how bad could it be? But it's like, this is every time I do shit over there, I got to go through this.
Oh, boy.
You got to fight with these people on the phone and, tracking numbers and all this other bullshit. And it just, in the end, you wind up, pulling your hair out.
You speak Italian?
My family spoke Sicilian, and then just enough to confuse me. But in Tuscany, it's just different. I mean, there's depending what region of Italy you're in, the language is completely different, just about. So that's what Tiziano's supposed to be for. But that guy fuck up a cup of coffee. So. He's not making the cut. It's like you have that guy supposed to be working for you, and it turns into, Dolce Vita Central over there. So,
what?
Yeah, it's just, that guy walks around like he's got the golden key to the shit house, no matter what you ask him to do, and everything's an argument with that guy, everything. So next year I'm going to get, I swear to God, I'm going to get one of those things you talking to, and it tells you in the language, and I'm just going to hold it up. Because I would get more done with flashcards. Italian fucking flashcards. Rosetta Stone or some bullshit, anything. Hire some guy I meet at the fucking airport, who's driving a cab, would do a better job than the assholes that I had this year.
Oh, my goodness. So you had a good time in Lucca then, I take it.
Well, you have a hard time, getting people to grasp the idea that it's like, yeah, guys, it's nice, it's Italy, and it's all those things, but, we got work to do, and you got a lot of shit to take care of, and and then after the show, you still got a lot of shit to take care of, and you just have a hard time finding, people that don't understand, that can't put that shit away sometimes. So, there's nothing wrong with having a good time and doing all that stuff, but there's a lot of work and there's a lot of expenses involved, and it's I'm tired of being a fucking guidance counselor. I'm tired of being a high school principal where I got to constantly go, hey guys, what the fuck's going on? I'm always the guy that's in the film that teaches you about VD. I'm tired of being that fucking guy. I'm just like, guys, how old are you? You get to a point where you're like, enough already with this shit. This isn't third period gym.
Yeah, I mean, I have an idea of what San Diego's like, but you take it to Italy, and it just multiplies your problems, I can imagine.
Oh, it's terrible. It's fucking terrible. I mean, it's just guys just don't. Sometimes they just don't. And it's a constant fucking argument. Everything is. Here's all I ask you. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to kiss my ass. You don't have to get along with me. All you have to do is go, okay, Sal. That's it. That's all I ask. Not every time I say, hey, listen, guys, what do you say and then everything's an argument. Well, why do you want to do that? What are you going to do that for? You don't need to do that. Do it this way. Don't do it that way. And finally you're looking around going, what the fuck? Now I got to get a permission slip every time I want to scratch my ass from these guys. And, finally you're just like, you know what? Let me just do this shit myself. Let me just hire a bunch of local broads. At least that way they're nice to look at.
I saw on your Facebook you had all these warm messages about all your help, and you thank them and all that. So,
it's all bullshit. That's just me being nice because I want to get I want to get home in one piece. I'm telling you right now what the fucking lay of the land is. 2/3 of those jagoffs next year. You'll see their Facebook posts, but it won't be from Italy. Yeah. It'll be from the United States. Because they ain't making the cut, believe me. Because worthless jagoffs, I can get over there. I don't need to bring them with me. I can get local college girls from the University of Pisa, or I can get, friends we've made over there already. I mean, it just like I said, it was so bad this year that I was having fucking pains in my chest. I was just like, you know what, guys? I don't need this shit, man. I really don't. I can go over there with Atomica and just set up one booth and do my own thing and hire a couple of locals to help me and be done with it. When I go with the Alex Ross Love Nest, it's just one big, giant fucking dry fist fuck. I mean, you just get to a point where you're just walking it's like prison rape. I mean, it's worse than prison rape.
Wow.
Where every fucking time I turn around, I'm going, unattended portfolios. Where is everybody? Tiz went out for a cigarette. Chris went to get a slice. The other two girls went to take pictures of the guy dressed as Jar Jar Binks. And the other broad went to take a shit. So I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm the only jagoff here.
Oh, my goodness.
So every time out of the corner of your eye, you start going, what the fuck am I doing? Well, what's going on here? What is this shit?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm always curious what the art collectors are looking for, other parts of the world. Like, what do you think was one of the bigger draws at the
art collectors? For the most part, the art collectors in Europe are jagoffs. It's like I've dealt with a lot of them. There's not a lot of them in terms of, there's two kinds. There's the dealers and then there's the buyers. The buyers, for the most part, the people of Italy and the people that do these foreign shows could not be nicer. I mean, I set up there and I have like a real straightforward kind of a deal where if they buy an Atomica trade or whatever, I'll do a sketch for them. And the people are nicer, and I love doing sketch. That's kind of their thing. They expect the artist to do sketches.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the original art market's a whole different story. When you go to talk to another dealer and you ask them, hey, do you got any Americans, they just, they'll have scraps. They'll have, less than anything spectacular. And you can buy a lot of nice art. If you just want to buy a nice piece of art from lots of Italian and French graphic novels and things like that they have there on display. I don't know what a lot of them are. I know the bigger name guys, Mobius and Sergio Topi and some of the bigger foreign artists, but that stuff generally gets to be a little more expensive. So, and I'm not a swap trade kind of guy. Some of these dealers want to swap,
Right.
So we do a little bit of business, but it's mostly, $500 and under that they'll buy, at the show. So that's why, you have to do supplemental stuff like sketchbooks, and we did a Lucca sketchbook this year, which did really well, and we did
I saw that.
An Atomica print, and we did stuff like that. So, but in terms of the art market, you try, you go for the exposure because it's a great show, man. The people couldn't be nicer in the setting. Tuscany's a magical place, man. It really is, without sounding too corny. The food and the people and the setting, it's just fantastic. Because, the American shows, you just tend to get burnt out a little bit after a while. It's the same 25 jagoffs, selling, Iron Man buttons and shit. Selling Modoc dildos and stuff,
The last time we talked to you was before Fan Expo, and so that means that, we've been to Fan Expo, New York has passed, and we knew that you were going to Lucca, and, you might get sick of us always asking you the convention stuff, but, you really know what you're talking about when it comes to that. So why is, Lucca so popular and Angoulême, but the conventions in England can't seem to find a place? They have a bunch of them, but they don't seem to garner the same amount of, stuff or magic that maybe over here or like Lucca does.
Well, Angoulême is a different beast entirely, because Angoulême is the oldest, is arguably, the oldest comic show in the world. It's been going on in Europe almost 40 years. Because that's originally where all the comics were published, was in Angoulême. That was where the printers were. The problem with Angoulême over the years is that Angoulême, it's a blessing and a curse. It's this medieval village. It's one of the few villages that didn't get destroyed or modernized, in the Second World War, that the Nazis didn't, wreck and the Allied forces didn't destroy when they were going through France. So that's a good thing. The bad thing about it is it's really old, and there's not a lot of there's hardly any hotels. So you got to stay 20 miles outside of the village and commute every day. And it's in February, so you freeze your ass off. And now you got the French with their fucking strikes. They're always having strikes for that weekend. So let's say right now, Peter, you want to go to Angoulême. You got to fly to Paris. You got to take a bullet train from Paris to Angoulême, which is 3.5 hours, which sounds, hey, it's romantic. It's a fucking John Hughes movie where you get stuck with John Candy or something, right? No, because here's the problem. Those jagoffs go on strike every year. So you get to the train station, and there's one train that comes for the whole day, and you literally, when the train pulls up, it's like the fall of Saigon, where everybody runs to the train to get on. So now you're standing on a bullet train for 3.5 hours to get to Angoulême. When you get to Angoulême, no fucking cabs, no cars, no trams, no hotels. You got to stay in some old hooker's house 30 miles outside of town. No heat. She's burning old fucking garter belts and shit to keep the place warm, right? I mean, literally, no FedEx. Nowhere to ship your shit, nowhere to ship your stuff back from, no transport. I mean, trying to get your way through all this shit, it's cute and fun and all that shit when you're younger, but then when you get to a certain age, you go, guys, I need fucking heat, and I need a shower, and I need a place to sleep that, like, 3 Nazis didn't just get kicked out of a month ago.
Wow.
was the same way. When I originally went to Lucca, it was in the parking lot of the soccer stadium. So it was like fucking Woodstock, only with red sauce. It was just a lot of bullshit. Mud and porta potties and, tents. And it was just, you'd go, hey, you know what, this is nice because it's a European festival, but it's not worth coming out here as an exhibitor, and spending money and having to hire employees and ship product. And, I'll just come out with my family and make a vacation out of it. The Arts Council of Lucca got smart and said, you know what, let's put it inside the village. Now, when you look at Lucca geography in terms of what you're asking about, why does Lucca kick ass and England doesn't? England's an island. Lucca, you can access it through train through all of Germany, Spain, France, and the entire country of Lucca. You can get there on a train, and not one of those places is more than a couple hours away. The UK, you got to get your ass on a plane and fly over there. So they just can't, and you don't have the charm. It's kind of like what San Diego is in terms of their location. Lucca's got the charm factor going for it. It's fantastic, little village with local people that all run all the local restaurants and all the and you've got a lot of artists in that part of Europe already, and you've got rabid fans. Comic fans where they treat it as a legitimate art form, not like you're a bunch of jagoffs living in their parents' basement. Here in this country, we've got that stigma of, if you're into comics, there's something wrong with you. Over in these foreign countries, man, they treat it like a legitimate art form. They revere comic books, in Italy and France and Spain and Germany. Here in the States, we're looked upon as, something's wrong with us. Well, we're a minority. But from what I understand, and Lucca, that part of Tuscany is a huge hub. If you want to get there, you could take a plane, you could take trains, you could take buses. They all drop you off right inside the walls of Lucca, and you're there at the show. Because I ask guys, hey, where you come from? And they come from all over Europe because it's easier to get to. The UK, I don't know. I mean, I've gone to a couple shows in the UK, and every one I've gone to is a glorified excuse for these jagoffs to get drunk. It really is. They never could seem to just have one kick-ass con where, you go, wow. You think, with all the talent in the UK, why they don't have one big, huge, kick-ass con there, in London or who knows, anywhere. Just doesn't seem to work.
Well, the big news in the past couple of weeks is that Mark Miller wants to start his own con in April of next year.
In the UK?
In the UK, right outside of London.
I wish him well, and Lord knows they've got enough talent over there but ask any guy from the UK, and they'll tell you that most of these guys like to go to these shows because they just like a chance to get together, but they can't seem to find one big organizer who, wants to kick it in the ass in terms of money, because those shows are expensive to put on, man.
Yeah.
You see what Reed's going through with their shows.
What'd you think of New York this year?
Well, New York is New York. I mean, I'll do the New York show because you have to do New York. Mm-hmm. It's that's where it is, man. That's where you got to be seen, and that's where the industry is. Anybody who's willing to put on a show there that's going to really be ambitious about it, I'm there. I mean, Mocha was, I'll do Mocha for that same reason, because you've got that certain element of the New York, thing going on for comics there. But I don't know. Reed's a funny, is a weird beast, because on one side you've got they're an absolute monster when it comes to marketing and how to put a show on and how to promote it and how to get beat the bushes to get people out. On the other side, that's their only show that's not a trade show. They only know trade shows. They don't know clusterfucks, where you've got 25 jagoffs all going up there going, hi, my uncle's Stan Lee, and I need a badge with my name for, me and 3 transvestites. They don't know what the fuck that is. I mean, the badge situation was an absolute dry hump. And it's because they're not used to selling tickets to the general public. Trade shows aren't open to the public.
Right.
They're by reservation only. So that being said, that's why I have a guest list for my clients, and everyone they looked at me and go, no, we don't do that. Like, what do you mean you don't do that? So like, no, we don't. Here's all your badges, and you give them out. We don't have a guest list. Well, then how the hell are people supposed to pick up their badges? Well, that's your problem. So they had volunteers work in the badge situation, and you could have gone up there and told them you were fucking Bill Clinton, and they would have given you a badge. I mean, I went up and told them I was fucking Peter Parker, and they gave me a badge. Frosty Peters. Here you go.
There's probably somebody walking around with my badge this year.
No, I mean, you guys were there. I mean, it was like, but that being said, look at the show. I mean, all you could ask for, it had. Yeah. Tremendous attendance, and people were there. Well, I didn't know what to expect, man. It was an 18-month layoff from the last New York show they did. I didn't really know what to expect. I said, hey, it's New York. I got to do it. And, there's a certain, they moved it to a good time of the year. It wasn't too cold. But I didn't necessarily think it was going to be as great as it was. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. I was just very, very pleased. It was just constant people all the time, all over the place. And the construction in the middle of the center didn't seem to hurt that any.
Yeah, there's always going to be a rub. I wasn't sure how that was going to work.
Yeah.
With the separation of Artist Alley with the exhibitor hall. But hey, in the end, all you could ask for is a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And you guys seem to be doing very well. I didn't get a chance to walk around at all because, I had two assholes working for me that got drunk. So it was, Tony. So it was just, it was just one of those. I was glad to be there, and then I was glad to get the fuck out of there kind of deals.
But the one time one of the time I stopped by Sal's booth, I was talking to him. Now, I must admit that I'm not on Facebook. So we're talking and said, hopefully, the baby comes pretty soon. He goes, oh, well, we just had the baby home for the weekend. I was like, I didn't know anything. I felt so silly because I didn't know I'm not on Facebook,
You're a smart man, Pants. Trust me. I got on there because everybody in comics is on there, and you figure it's good for networking and this and that. But if one of these jagoffs from Canada sends me, you try to write a normal letter, right, or a normal, hey, how you doing, or what's going on, and these jagoffs, they'll send me the symbol with the frown upside down with the tongue sticking out, and I'm like, well, what is this? What the fuck is this? What kind of bullshit is that? What kind of grown-up? Okay, what kind of guy that has a pair responds to you with an upside down face with a tongue sticking out?
Peter.
That's Tiziano. Okay, every fucking time I write him something, he sends me a symbol. I'm like, hey, Prince, fucking write back, will you please? Fucking Canadians, they can't write back. You can't fucking put letters together. Unless somebody's fingering you at the drive-in, I don't want a fucking text. It's got a symbol. I want something written. Hey, how are you? How about okay? Is that all right? 2 letters? Tiz puts pictures of his fucking dog on his Facebook page. They should sterilize that cocksucker. Anybody that puts pictures of a dog dressed in little outfits needs a fucking shrink. I mean, really, you really need to go up to Canada. and consider some of that serious, like one of those Jack Kirby psychiatrists, where they put shit in his head. Got pictures of his dog with a fucking witch hat on. I go, what is this shit?
Well, Pants alluded to your newborn, and she was born, and suddenly you had 2 conventions to go to. Little Anna. Welcome, little Anna.
The first guy was the big, 12 hours of labor and sleeping on the couches and,
She had to fly out of San Diego.
Yeah, it was a big, it took forever. It was a big, this was like right out of the movies. This was, I knew I had to go to New York, and then, big deal. It was, New York's an hour and a half from Chicago, so I said either way, I had arranged for people to come and stay, with my wife when I was gone, but we didn't know what was going on. And it was literally, she woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, we got to go. And it was like, well, I was used to the other guy where it took, hours and hours. It was literally driving through red lights, get to the hospital at 3 in the morning, and 20 minutes from when we walked through the door to when I got her there, she had the baby. It was over.
Wow.
Right under the wire.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was literally like, you bent over to pet her cat and there was a baby on the floor. It's like what is that? Something on a leash. Oh. What am I slipping in? What is this? Who spilled Kool-Aid? What is all this shit all over here? It was like, wow. It was like, who's going to clean this? I could hear my mom. Who's going to clean this up? That kind of thing. But I was like, hey, man, it was boom. It was fast. I mean, it was just like, I guess second kid, like I know, second kids are quick and little easier, maybe only because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really spaz out about it anymore. With the first kid, you're like everything. You're worried about everything. With this one, I let her play with, juggle knives. Leave her on the stove. Oh, sorry, that kind of shit. Because you know what's going on. You're like, my mom, come on. I mean, she treated us like the kids in 300. You went out and came back when you killed a fucking wolf. So I don't know. Fuck do I know? But it's I mean, it's still hectic. It's still crazy. I mean, I catch myself saying and doing things that I never thought I would, and so now I take care of my son and the 3-year-old, and then my wife takes care of the baby, and it's you have your good days and bad days, but overall you just kind of get through it. That's all you can do. It's tough, man.
You work from home, right?
Well, I'm supposed to, I mean, that's the general idea. But then when your wife's on maternity leave, and then it's like if one more fucking person comes over to see the baby, I'm going to kill myself. Every weekend, it's like a different clusterfuck of kids running in. Where you go, what is all this? Oh, my friend from work, or and the neighbors, and then we had Chuck E. Cheese last week. That's an evil fucking place. Right there, Chuck E. Cheese. That I did it. I said, well, okay, I don't want to be a hard-on. Let's take them. And then you go in there and you go, this is just, you can't fucking believe such a place exists. Without alcohol. It's like dropping really bad acid when you go in there, and it's a world ruled by 3-year-olds. You go, this is real fucking bad.
But I'm sure your son had a great time.
Well, that's supposedly why you do it, and it's a good time of year for me now because I'm home for a while. I don't have any shows,
right,
until after the holidays, so it's good. I mean, my summer is just an absolute blur from June to October until I get back from Italy, because you're either prepping or you're doing it or you're trying to close one out. And Italy's harder and harder every year just from the jet lag and the 12-hour flight and all the other bullshit. I mean, it used to be all shits and giggles when you're younger, and then you get older and you're like, Jesus Christ, this is like, whew. It's like fucking a 400-pound broad in a fucking phone booth. You just there's nowhere to go, and there's nothing to touch, and there's no fucking leverage, and you got the phone book hitting you in the ass, and it's just all bad, You don't have change. You're trying to put your hands in your pockets. Someone's knocking on the window. Hurry up! And then you get on these Alitalia planes, right? And the laziness of Italy translates over into Alitalia. Okay. Now Alitalia's must have a rule where you got to be a hot broad to be a stewardess on Alitalia. That's the upside. The downside is the planes are filthy.
Oh,
they're fucking filthy. I'm not kidding. I got on a plane where they had ashtrays in the arms of the chairs, and there were still fucking cigarette butts in the ashtray. Yeah. And the bathrooms are filthy, and the kitchen's filthy, and you're like, man, these guys don't clean these fucking planes? I mean, yeah, sure, you want to get there one piece, and that's all you're concerned about, but, I mean, the planes are shitholes. The Italians just don't want to break out the 409 and some fucking, paper towels and clean this shit up every once in a while.
Because how long is that flight?
Chicago, you got to change. Usually, if you don't change, in Europe, you change in Italy. So I usually change in Rome. So door to door, like 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you got the time change, and then you got to, So it's nice. I mean, it rains a lot. It rained a lot when we were there, constant downpour. But it's a good show. I mean, I would do it every. But see, the problem with Lucca is you can't just decide. Oh, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. It's like San Diego. You got to reserve your booth way in advance.
Yeah, you got to commit to it.
You got to commit, yeah, because the show has become a big thing, and there's a waiting list. So when people go, oh well, I don't know, I gotta know. I gotta know by April. I gotta let that's when they want their money. So there's no time for You got to decide before in the spring whether you're going to do something in October.
Now, what you said 12 hours. What do you do those 12 hours?
Well, the flight itself is like 9 and a half, depending on a tailwind. But then you got to switch planes. You got to take a second plane, usually from Rome to Pisa. So you try to sleep. I thought for sure I would sleep great because normally I'm one of those guys that sleeps on the airplane. But you watch a couple bad movies and you listen to your iPod, or I try to draw, or you kind of go in and out of sleeping. And, actually the flight there seems a lot longer than when you come home. When you come home, it's pretty fast because, you're not all anticipating the show, So I tried, but I'm not one of those guys that takes Ambien and all that shit. Roop took Ambien when he was there, and he was fucking passed out. I mean, we had to hit him with the paddles a couple times to get him up with those fucking Ambien. Those fucking Ambien, let me tell you, man. It's like it turns. You turn around and the guy's like a zombie with those Ambien. I can't do that shit because I'm always worried somebody's going to try to fuck me or something. I can't do it. Speaking of which, how are all the guys? How is everybody?
Very good. Just going.
It's not like you guys are chopped liver, but I'm just wondering, is everybody doing all right? Everybody's getting ready for Thanksgiving, and
Well, that's my favorite. This is my favorite time of year: Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas. No, it's a good time. A lot of family stuff, and Hans and I share a birthday this year. Around this time, and Adams is. You're a New Year's baby, right, Adam?
That's right.
Yep. Brian is off camping, and Jamie's recording from home when he can.
How is he?
He's good. He's getting treatment, but it's kicking him in the ass a little bit. But he's still kicking it out.
Good, because you guys always ask me about me. My life is fucking boring. Trust me. My life is like if I can get from A to Z without having to juggle assholes around here, I'm a happy man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to survive the retail season at Toys R Us at Christmas time. That's always because my kid's driving me crazy with all this Cars shit. Okay. Mater, and there's 47 different kinds of Mater. Yes, there are. Oh my goodness. It's like this. I'm telling you, Disney. It's like when I get a hold of that guy Lasseter that created the Cars. It's like I'm going to beat the shit out of him if I see him at San Diego. and they have every imaginable kind of toy my kid has to. When you take him to Toys R Us. Yeah,
that's right. I think you just went to Toys R Us recently, right? I thought I saw it on your Facebook. I
spoil the shit out of them. I really do, because my dad was one of those what kind of guys. Or birthdays, once you hit like 8 years old, that's it. Birthdays are for girls and little kids. No more birthdays. He was that kind of jag off. So with my kid, I don't care. I spoil the shit out of him.
Why not? He went to your work.
Yes.
Yeah, now you guys got but I guess it's the Tokyo Mater was the one that everybody was losing their mind and they couldn't get it, and it was a big fist fight at the Toys R Us I was at.
Oh boy, wow! I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, no, and I was like, guys, calm down, man. Take it easy. It's just toys. Kids are going to be all right.
Emotions can run high when. What do you mean you don't have it in stock? What do you mean? Where is it? You need to have it right now. It's like, my goodness.
Oh, that's right. You're the hot shit at Toys R Us. I forgot about that.
I wouldn't say that.
Don't you? Because here they got the Christmas hours where they're open till like midnight or around the clock.
Yeah.
You got to work.
We have some midnight openings. Closing, some 1 a.m. closings, and actually for Black Friday this year, it's actually, we open on Thursday. We open at 10 p.m. on Thursday and open until 10 p.m. on Friday. It's crazy.
Right. My God.
Yeah,
you guys really got to put a bar in there.
Well, every year without fail, I get so stressed out. I say, you know what? This is the year I start drinking, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. No, it's to me, it's like, when you go in there with a 3-year-old or you go in there with a kid and you see him literally, jumping up and down and, doing cartwheels down the aisles, and I'm like, yeah, okay, let's go. Then you remember when you were a kid, you forget that pure, joy you had for shit. Because, when you get jaded, you get older, you don't give a shit anymore, and, you just get to a point where you're like, yeah. But then when you see the way these kids respond to this stuff, you go, okay, this is what it's about.
Yep.
I go nuts for this shit.
Well, that's like remember the battle for Cabbage Patch Kids back in the day?
Oh, yep.
Right.
Like 1983, I think, was the big year for Cabbage Patch.
Now, what's your story, then, Pete? You gonna get married this year? Is this the year you finally you break your cherry, or what's gonna happen?
Who's that, me?
Yeah.
We just celebrated Matt's wedding. When was Matt's wedding?
September.
Oh, yeah, right. That's right. I saw that.
Yeah, just about 2 months ago.
Yep.
Yeah. And he was the man. He was the one that was saying, he wasn't one that marriage wasn't for him. Blah blah blah, whatever. And
Matt says a lot of things.
I know.
Listen, let me tell you something. I was one of them jag-offs. And if I get married and wind up with 2 kids, imagine anybody else that goes, "Oh, come on, never going to happen." That kind of shit. It was like when Ricky Martin said he liked girls. It's like nobody fucking for 5 seconds. We knew, like, come on, jag-off. What are you kidding?
Well, when did you get married, though? How old are you?
I was 40 when I got married.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? I held out. I was the man in the iron mask. I wasn't fucking going anywhere. I was the last of the fucking Mohicans. I was just like, it ain't happening. And then you go out, and then finally you're like, you just surrender. All right. Fuck. Stop. Shit. Oh, man. You can't fucking take it anymore. You go from fighting once every 3-4 months to fighting once every 2 months to every month to every week to every sad commercial to, every fucking holiday. To, what are we waiting for? That shit starts, and you're like, oh, fuck. You just finally run out of room. You're like DiCaprio when he's fucking handcuffed to the pipe in Titanic. You're like, here's the axe. Grab the axe. You're that fucking guy. There's no more room. The water keeps coming, and it's cold. You just finally say, fuck this. All right. Jesus.
Well, I mean, if Jamie was here, you'd be talking to the 4, geeks that aren't married yet.
You guys are young still. You got plenty of time.
I'm young. I'm 41.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're young still. You got plenty of time. And you're a nice guy. If you were a jag-off, I'd say, hey, man, you better fucking get married. Because it's like an ugly chick. Ugly girls that you go, those aren't the ones you go, don't worry, you'll be fine. You go, no, you better fucking get married. Because the first jag-off that comes along, like if he's, you read like those Siamese twins with their heads stuck together, they were getting pussy for Christ's sake. You ever read in Guinness, the guy with the leg coming out of his ass and shit? He had 3 kids. Some fucking broad married those jag-offs. That's the way it is with ugly girls. There's always somebody that'll fuck them, no matter who. I don't give a fuck who they are. I mean, the bearded lady, or I got fucking relatives that look like MODOK with his ass shaved, and somebody will go, "Oh, darling," they've got to see her naked. So that's why you got to just say fuck it at a certain point, because you can't be that old jag-off at the disco anymore. I mean, I see my fucking reflection sometimes getting out of the shower, and I want to throw up. So it's like, I used to be like those ass. I used to be like The Situation and all that bullshit. I can't pull that shit off anymore.
Hey, those ugly girls can be quite loyal, though.
There's nothing wrong with ugly girls, but that's what I'm saying. With an ugly girl, I don't give a fuck who they are. She could be ugly, have 5 kids, okay, have the back of her head missing, and somebody will fucking marry him. Somebody will marry him. I mean, minus a fucking vagina. If the girl 5 years in goes, you know what, I really got a cock. The guy will go, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But with guys, if you're a nice guy, you can meet girls. If you're a jagoff like me, you run out of wiggle room because you lose your looks, and then you got nothing left. What do you think, these cute stories get you pussy? Not over 40. Maybe when you're 25 and they want to bring home Guido to piss off their old man. Great. And it's all, hey, what are you doing? A slap on the back, get in the eye rock and let's go. Yeah, but over 40, you just that jag-off. You're just that guy like, oh, fuck, here he comes. That guy. I'm the guy watering his lawn that the ladies bring their kids in the house when I walk by.
I guess I got 2 years for that.
You got to meet the right girl. There really are only 2 types of girls. There's the kind of girls you marry, and there's the kind of girls you date. And there aren't any in between. There really aren't. And you meet the right ones, and if they got their shit together, and they're not, you don't fucking see them in the movie at the bachelor party. You say fuck it. You go, okay, let's go.
Well, we think Adam will be the next one to get married out of all of us.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
No, Adam, you're hanging on. What?
Yeah,
Is it like Apollo 11 or what the fuck? What's going on over there?
I'm just not in the hunt right now.
That's all right. You see the beauty. You know what the beauty of it is? You don't have any control over it. You think, oh, you know what? I'm in control of my life, and I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm the captain steering the ship. That ain't how it works. That's life's cruelest fucking joke. Is that when you think you got everything all fucking figured out? That's when That's when you get a giant shit pallet lands on your head. That's when you run into some girl when you're at the grocery store picking cucumbers, and she's like, "Oh, hi." You get a flat tire, you go into the gas station and go, "Hey, listen, I forgot my jet," and then there's some girl working the counter, and you're like, "What the fuck is that?" And then the next thing you know, you're picking out napkins.
Yeah, that's right. That's destiny telling you to bend over.
Yeah, no, that's how it is. Listen, I met my wife at an Alex Ross Halloween party, okay, which is the fucking oasis of pussy. There's nothing. Nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. I mean, that was one of those ones you do just because, you go, and Alex used to have some kick-ass fucking Halloween parties, but nothing in the way of females. I mean, it was females? Are you fucking kidding me? It's like a dictionary at Jesse's house. It's fucking not happening.
Poor Jesse.
Right? And I went there minding my own fucking business. I'll go have a couple of drinks, jump on some Fritos, and get the fuck out of here. That's what I did. So I said, I'll be home by 11 o'clock. Watch Sports Center, break one off, and go to bed. That was my plan for that evening. Because Alex is one of them guys. He don't fuck around. He don't have ring-a-dings where you got whores laying on the floor, guys outside smoking joints, and Puerto Ricans in the back fucking cornhole. And there's none of that shit. Alex, hey, now that's a good thing. Alex, there's no grab ass with that guy. Trust me. He had parties. It was like, hey, there's no drop your cocks and grab your socks. It was one of those type fucking parties. It was all serious people in the business and some serious fucking costumes, So you go, and then I met my wife because she was a friend of ours, a friend of Alex's sister. Is how I met her. And I kid you not, she was one of like 3 girls at the whole fucking party. And one of them was Angel Medina. So I said, hey, the usual, hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
Yeah, what do you say we go jump on a Polish, or something? I don't know what the fuck I told her, some shit like that, And it was one. When I met my wife, the last fucking thing in the world I was looking for was to get involved. I had just come out of a long-term situation, and then I was with some other crazy bitch, and then it was just, I was at a point where I'm like, you know what, this is great. I love being single. I could focus on my work. I just started working with Alex, and we were getting things going. It was a great time. But that's it. See, it's all timing. 80% of everything in life is all fucking timing. You meet the right gal at the wrong time, that shit ain't gonna fly.
Yeah.
You're hanging around with Tiziano, he blows a fart, they get up and walk away. Guess he tries to steal her purse. It's fucking over. It's not gonna happen. Buzz tells her she forgot her ticket to pick up her blouse. Tells you to go fuck yourself. Not happening. Come on. You've seen the fucking treasure trove of quality jagoffs that I hang around with.
Yes, I have.
I mean, come on. It's the fucking Teen Titans of pricks. It's the Olympic photo of the go fuck yourself gang. Oh. So my point is, for the three people that are left listening, that if I can meet a girl and get married and go with darling, I love you shit, trust me, never say never.
There's somebody for everybody.
No, and you have no control over it, man. You don't see it coming. That. You do not see it coming. You're just kind of going about your business, doing your own thing, and then boom, you turn around and you go, what the fuck? There's a lot to be said for fate. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Hey, once I turned 40, I said, you know what? I'm content. Everything's cool. I just said, you know what? Some guys are just meant to be single. That's how it is. I was okay with it. I was happy to just focus on my work and get my shit done. But this shit comes along. Shit happens.
And now you're happier than you ever thought you could be.
It's a different life, man. I didn't see myself going down this road, being the guy in the suburbs with the lawn furniture and the two kids and the stack of diapers on top of the toilet. I didn't think I was that guy. The guy wearing the same underwear 3 days in a row because you don't have time to fucking change. Taking care of kids. I haven't seen a fucking movie since, I think Avatar was the last movie I saw.
Really?
You don't have any time, man. Well, weekends coming to go to a fucking movie. To go to what comes out this Memorial Day, I got to plan it now. I'm not kidding. You got to find a babysitter. Then you got to hope they show up. Then you got to hope that if they show up, they're not like crazy. Then you got to hope that the situation works out, that nobody gets sick and this or that. Then you got to fight with your wife over what you're going to see, and pray to God there's nothing with Julia Roberts in it that fucking weekend, or fucking Antonio Banderas. Or fucking the guy from 300 makes another one of those movies with the skank from Friends. I'm going to fucking kill myself.
Oh, come on.
Hey, listen, whoever's giving this asshole advice that he should be a comedic star needs to fucking be, they need to stone his ass. He doesn't have time to make Watchmen, but he has time to make movies with fucking Jennifer Aniston. I mean, who are you kidding? Who told this guy he was a comedy star?
He was supposed to be in Watchmen?
He turned down Watchmen. He was supposed to be a comedian. He turned it down.
Wow.
Yeah. Because he didn't have time. He had to be the bounty hunter or some bullshit. I saw it on the airplane. It was like I was ready to fire his agent.
I thought you said you were going to walk out of the movie on the plane.
Oh, I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. This guy should be making movies where he's kicking people's asses constantly. And instead, they got him as the guy who's got a heart of gold, and at the end, he realizes, come on, stop it. That shit don't happen. Come on. Cut it out. It's like, who are you kidding? It's like Shyamalan trying to do Last Airbender. Come on. Back off. Cut it out. Fucking Slumdog Millionaire meets the kid from the laundry. No one's fucking buying it.
What do you think of all these movies coming out next year? It's going to be a good time for, comic book fans.
Hey, man, my take on all these things is I want them all to do well. You know, I want all the comic movies to do good. You know, I think it's cool. It's ambitious. It's nice to see how ambitious Marvel's going to be with all the stuff they got coming out. You know, to do the whole tie-in with the Avengers. I think it's nice to see DC finally getting off their ass. Mm-hmm. Because even though I grew up a Marvel guy, you know, DC still got a pretty kick-ass catalog of characters, and we'll see. I mean, the fact that they're going to reboot Superman, I think, is a great idea, and also rebooting Spider-Man, and I just hope they do it because I'm telling you, man, it's like anything else. It's a cycle. These superhero movies, it's going to run its course, and then they're going to move on to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping it's around for a while, but I just got a feeling that once these things start kind of, leveling off at the box office, they're going to move on to whatever the next hot thing is.
Yeah. Well, we got we got a good 10 years out of it so far.
Hey, look, I think we got a lot more. There's a lot of kick-ass shit. I mean, the thing on AMC,
Walking Dead, yeah.
Walking Dead, I think, is great. Road to Perdition, I thought was fantastic. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that they mine out of comic books that I think that they can, make you put it together with the right guy, like what they're doing with Batman and what they're going to do with Superman. And I think there's a lot of fucking shelf life on these characters.
Yeah,
we forget, but most of these jagouts don't even know who the fuck these characters are.
Yeah.
We take it for granted that everybody knows. I couldn't believe it when people were asking me who Iron Man was. They were like, Iron Man? Who the fuck is Iron Man? I was like, are you kidding me? He was like, what is this, a new character? I'm like, new character?
Jeez.
I just assumed everybody knew who Iron Man was.
Yeah. A couple of weeks back, during New York, everybody kind of lost their mind because of the whole Marvel and DC announcements about lowering their prices. Is that on your radar at all? Does that mean anything to you?
No, I think I hung out with a lot of the guys at New York and at Lucca and at some of these shows, and I generally, believe it or not, I keep my mouth shut and I just kind of listen in. But most of what seems to be going on right now is the climate is just that everything, and I mean literally everything across the board, is hurting. Comics just aren't. I mean, and I'm not one to be the death rattle and talk about comics are dying, but everything is bad. The economy's still kind of rebounding, and comics just aren't selling right now. And so I think they're trying in every way to kick shit in the ass. Like I was talking to Simone because Simone was concerned about Thor not selling. It's just not selling. And I'm like, well, the problem is, Marvel keeps pumping out more and more product to try to fill up the market share and the slots at the comic store, and they just, who the fuck's going to keep buying more of it?
I know. It's so hard to understand that the comics are struggling. You see these conventions, capacity crowds.
Money. Oh no, the money is still there. That's not a problem because you look at the box office and you look at the cons, sure. But if I go from 35 titles to 60 titles, when the guy goes in the comic store, he still had the average guy when he goes into a comic store has got between about $7 to $15 to spend. That hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. So just because Marvel decides, hey, we're going to come out with 4 miniseries about Tony Stark, doesn't mean that you're going to be able to buy all fucking 4 of them now. Mm. But yet, there's a lot of there's a lot of reasons they do that because they're trying to gobble up market share. Because a comic store only has so many slots.
Right.
So if I come out with 10 Iron Man, miniseries, and that's what's hot at the time, that's what's going to dominate those slots, and then they're going to take away a space from DC or from Image or from whoever else. So especially when, now with the Disney thing, now that Disney is mining into all the Marvel shit, a couple of vendors that we've been dealing with for years, like Lionsgate and some of these other ones, and Panini in Italy, who for years had the exclusive Marvel contract. Trust me, man, their days are numbered. Because Disney, little by little, wants to make back. First, they want to make back the capital that they dropped to buy Marvel. That's their first goal, is to make the money back before they start making. So the first thing they do is they come in and they go, all right, how much of this shit can we do on our own? So we don't get a portion of it, we get all of it. We want the lion's share of it. So Lionsgate's getting all the animation taken away from them. Disney's taking that over. Panini, who used to be their sole distributor in Europe for all the Marvel product, even though they had according to the Panini guy this year, they had two of the best years they've ever had in Europe selling Marvel titles. Disney does their own distribution in Europe for comics. They did it before the Marvel deal, so the writing's on the wall with that. Just a matter of time. So how that's going to change the scope of things, remains to be seen. Because right now, the weakest thing, in my opinion, from a small press guy, from my little corner of the world, is that it's still a distribution problem. There's still only one fucking distributor, which is what keeps comics from reaching a broader audience. Hopefully Disney can change some of that and get comics into the hands of people that just don't get them right now. When you got one fucking distributor, man, it's like handing out cheese on the corner. It's just, you're not getting it, you're getting it to some people, but you're not getting it out. Like when we were growing up, I mean, you guys are a lot younger than me, but you could buy fucking comics everywhere. Yeah. And they lost the Walmart thing, the Walmart gig, because Walmart was trying to fucking wield the mighty hand of Walmart and dictate policy, which was a bad thing. They lost a huge contract with Walmart. But, because I don't know if you heard about what happened or how that went down, but Walmart literally wanted to tell Marvel what they could, what the books were going to be about and shit.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they were saying, no, you can't do this. And it was literally off of one cover. There was one cover where it was like a blood. It was implied that the guy got shot. So the people at Walmart, somebody complained, so Walmart got pissed at Marvel and told Marvel that, no, your comics are too adult. So Marvel even offered to cater the books that were sold at Walmart to be, PG, a certain level of PC for kids and for everybody, and Walmart wasn't even happy with that. They said, no, you need to, they wanted to almost become like a comics code authority.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Yeah, and to Marvel's credit, they told them to go suck a dick. So that was a huge kick in the ass. So now you can't buy comics at Walmart anymore.
Well, I thought I heard, aren't they selling the Walking Dead trades at Walmart now?
Well, see, it depends on, but see, with Walmart now, because they're the consummate fucking hypocrites, it depends on which Walmart. I mean, there's some Walmarts you could buy rifles at.
Yeah.
Depending what part of the country you're in. But yet, there are other Walmarts where they want it, where they won't sell certain CDs. They won't sell certain music. They won't sell certain things. But right. My point is that, man, 7-Eleven used to have comics. The grocery stores used to have comics. You could get them at all these different outlets that kids went to after school. Now you got to go to a fucking comic store. And I'm hoping that Disney, with that broad reach that they have, could get comics because it's like you got to worry about what, the next generation's going to read, because these fucking kids today don't read comics, man.
They don't read hardly anything.
They don't read
Harry
shit.
Potter or Twilight or...
Well, you got a lot more, you got a hell of a lot more options than we ever had. I mean, shit, you got the internet, and you got fucking 300 channels, and you got... you don't have to read as much. I mean, you look at what's happening with newspapers and magazines and shit. But I mean, Lord knows these characters are going to be around 1,000 years after we're all fucking dead. But it's just a matter of to what degree, how much of print is left. For me, I love print. I'll always want to do something in print. I mean, I think the internet is, you have to try to find as many ways to sell your shit as possible. But I always want to have that textile feel to have a comic in my hand and read it that way. Mm-hmm. But that's me. What the fuck do I know? I mean, these kids of the young generation, they tell me, they throw shit at me. The fuck, they don't know who Superman is. They don't know, these characters we take for granted. They don't know who the fuck they are. They don't know who, they never heard of Jamie,
Jamie?
They never heard of Pants. Fuck is Pants doing there? Stuff they all say. Hey, he's the asshole at Toys R Us that threw me out for shitting in the corner.
Do you have that authority, Brian?
Come on, I'll be honest. Sure. How many kids have you going, hey, you asshole's going to buy anything?
Oh,
then you need to get the fuck out of
here. Exactly, yeah. Especially when they hang around the bikes and ride bikes around the store. It's like, no, come on, you guys got to go.
You let them bounce the balls around?
To an extent, until they start throwing them at the basketball backboards that are bouncing all over the store. Then I got to.
Now, how big is the store? You have one of those crazy ass suburban Toys R Us that goes on forever, or do you got like a smaller one?
It's in part of a strip mall with an Office Max and a Gap and a Borders. We don't have a Babies R Us with us. We have a small selection of baby goods. It's about 45,000 square feet. A decent size, but not overwhelming. It's manageable.
All right. I know, because some of these Toys R Us are like, you got a Subway, you got a part of a gas station, and then I see other ones out in the suburbs, man, where you can't believe it. You go, gee, it's like an airport. You go in, you go, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They got like a monorail going through the fucking thing. Boy. The Legos is just like one zip code for Legos. Let me tell you something about those fucking Legos. These Legos, my God, are these things getting like... They used to be just a fucking box of and now they got every imaginable license tied into this. Was this a brilliant idea or what?
Yeah.
With Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and now they've even got them like for grown-ups, where they've got like landmarks that you can buy.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Tower and Frank Lloyd Wright series. I'm going, it's fucking brilliant.
Yep.
I mean, it costs like $300 for a fucking Starfighter. And then if I buy it for my kid, my asshole brother-in-law tries to steal it. And it all starts out the same way. Hey, where'd you get this? And I look at him, I'm like, don't fucking take the kid's toy. Here's $20, asshole. Get out of here. Go buy your own. Because assholes in comics like us, they don't realize we look at that shit. We go, oh, Green Lantern, huh? And the next thing you know, the kid's going, hey, where's my fucking toys? My asshole brother-in-law took it home. I'm walking down the Legos aisle and I'm going, Jesus Christ! I mean, they've tied in. What do they got? They got Indiana Jones, Star Wars. Forget it. That
Toy
Story
Story
is like out of control.
Toy Story's big
It's
now.
like $150 for the fucking for the walker.
Yeah.
I thought, holy shit! It's like, oh man. I mean, it's like
Brian is he jumps up sessions every like 8 months, and now come on, you know.
Yeah, but it's funny
he
because
goes
he's
on
not
about
here.
that costume he's building of his or whatever the fuck. Every time I see him on Facebook, he's putting together his Elvis Stormtrooper or some bullshit. I don't know.
We've had the big reveal now. He was like an AIM agent from Marvel
No,
Comics.
but I thought this guy had 2 kids. When the fuck does he got time to build a Stormtrooper outfit?
He's just a Zen master of time management. That's all.
I don't have time to cut my fucking toenails. This Jagoff's building armor and shit in his basement. I mean, if I was going to build a disguise, I'd fucking turn myself into a tree or something. My wife couldn't find me in the yard while I'm sitting out there smoking. Fuck Stormtroopers. That's a white outfit. You'll see me in 2 seconds.
He's going to Dragon Con next year. He's going to be dressed up as Loki with the big horns.
Oh, somebody fucking stop him, Because, no. I mean, it's like there's a lot of guys I know like this that somebody needs to fucking tackle them. Needs to stop them. At different levels. There's the costume Jagoff. There's the show exclusive Jagoff. There's the I got to stand in line at 4 in the morning for a signature Jagoff. I know every one of these guys. And they come to me with shit. I go, guys, I don't know anything about that stuff. I don't know anything about it. There's the oh, hey, listen, Bob Chapman's got those Darkest Night dolls, Sal. You know Bob, don't you? And I go, yeah. You've seen Bob Chapman, right, at Graffiti? Mm-hmm. The guy looks like fucking Ben Grimm. And I go, look, I'm friends with Bob because I don't ask Bob for shit. And I ain't asking him for Darkest Night figures for your fucking ass. I mean, unless I'm trying to fuck you, I ain't getting you dolls. That's how it works. It ain't working. Then, and I won't mention any names, the Jagoffs from Canada come up to me at San Diego and they go, which bag did they give you when you checked in? Fuck, I don't know. I checked in like a month ago. I'm like fighting with Teamsters and up on ladders and $300 for a roll of duct tape and, Jesse, Jesse's on his period and all kinds of shit. Angel Medina's caught in a spider web. There's all kinds of fucking problems I got to listen to. How the fuck do I know what bag they gave me? And I go, just for the sake of retarded, my own retarded curiosity, why do you want to know? And they go, well, the one with the Darkest Night, that's the rarest one. The one they're selling on eBay for but the Scooby Doo one and the other, those are high numbers of. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, who's got time to worry about free? And this is shit they're giving away free.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, those shoulder bags that last about a half an hour.
Uh-huh.
They're like the stitches that come, that melt.
I mean, I'm like, guys, I don't know. Who the fuck's got time for this shit?
Hey, I had my first Fan Expo experience this year. I had a great time up there. Talk about, beautiful girls and crazy comic book.
Toronto's a great fucking city, isn't it? I mean, it's...
it was great. Fell in love with it.
And Peter is now officially, well, I think he's officially part of the Fan Expo family. He did a couple of panels. He was a moderator on a couple of sketch drool panels.
Yeah, I mean, they asked, and I'm not getting I'm not saying that suddenly I'm part of it. They just asked, and I had a lot of fun.
You did a great job.
Yeah,
listen, you got a high school diploma, don't you? Yeah. All right, well, then you're part of the Fan Expo. Because they don't grow on trees up there with those jaguars.
It was a great time. They're great people. They run a great convention. All those times.
Listen, it's like I didn't go this year because my wife was going through all kinds of craziness with the pregnancy.
Sure.
And then I stayed home. The first con, I said, all right, stop. All right, fuck, I'll stay home. I mean, it was literally like fucking Iwo Jima, where I wanted to get on the last fucking Higgins boat to go on to hit the beach. All right, I'll stay. So I didn't go to Toronto. You know what I fucking did? You know what she did that weekend? She wound up getting together with her girlfriends the whole fucking weekend. I go, listen, why the fuck did I stay home?
Oh.
You made it sound like I needed to stay home, like I needed to board up the windows to keep zombies from fucking coming in or something. There was no reason for me to stay home, none at all. Except for, staying away from
those jagoffs at Fan Expo. But I have a good time up there when I go.
Yeah. It was cool. It was very cool. Can't wait to go back.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to start this year. I'm going to do Emerald, and then I'm going to do WonderCon. I haven't done WonderCon in a couple of years, so I already sent in all my shit, all my paperwork, and all that shit. So I'm looking forward to it. The show in San Francisco is it's a San Diego guy.
Right.
So I thought, hey, you know what? Let me. I took a couple years off because I thought, fuck it, I do a lot of shows, but I'm definitely going to go back this year. Start the year off, and then Mocha again. I haven't done Mocha since they moved it to spring. I mean, did you guys go this year or no?
I went this year, and it was great.
It was great. Okay, good. Because I'd done it, I don't know, 6 or 7 years in a row. I never missed it, and then the last year I did it was the first year that they moved it to the Armory. Mm-hmm. But they're remodeling the Armory, so I don't know what it's going to look like this spring, but I know I was reading an article, they're completely gutting the thing and redoing it all.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's in what? It's in the spring now, right? So,
yep,
or
April,
early April. So, I'm going to have all kinds of new Atomica shit out by then, so I'm going to definitely... It's just got a nice feel to it. You can sit with other guys that are just artists. Nobody has any agenda. You can just shoot the shit with stuff. It's great because it's the luck of the draw who you get put next to. You could get put next to, a real big indie guy or just a guy like me who's just putting a book out, because he wants to do comics. One year they had me next to Spiegelman, and the next year they had me next to the fucking guys that did the gay comics. So, you never know year to year.
It's going to be crazy next year. I'm really watching the 2011 year because, you said Emerald City. That's March 4th through 6th. C2E2 is March 18th through the 20th. WonderCon is April 1st through the 3rd. Mocha is April 9th through the 10th. I mean, it's just March and April next year is stuffed full of conventions.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, I hadn't, and it's good because
if I go when I go with Alex versus when I go with Atomica, it's just a different beast.
Sure.
When I go with Atomica, I can literally, it's just 99.9%, relaxation for me. I can go and I just shoot the shit and I do sketches and I, talk to everybody. But then when I go with Alex, you got just a ton more work. You got to go in and you got setup and you got more prep. You got more shit to ship. You got to deal with credit cards. It's just,
every day's fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to Emerald last year because Jim fucked me over, but we talked about it.
We went this year. We're going back again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten better and better and better, that show. And I don't know how the hell he makes any money, but he sure as hell puts it all back into the show.
Yep.
Because he always has a great guest list.
And now Kirby Crackle signed with Marvel. How about that?
Yeah, how the fuck, what did they sign?
I don't know.
I think it's a lot of bullshit.
Does that mean they're not allowed to sing Ring Capacity
I
anymore?
certainly hope not.
Well, I don't know what that is. When I saw that article, and I'm like, yeah, but they didn't say what it was.
Right.
Two jagoffs sitting at the bar drinking. I mean, that happens at every show. So.
I don't think it's an exclusive deal. I think it's just a deal to maybe produce some content for them. I would think. I can't imagine they would do an exclusive deal. Maybe.
Know, man. But listen, anybody who's making any money in comics right now, God bless them.
Yep.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
my take on all of it. Good for them. Anybody who's entertaining, doing shit, doing their own thing, sitting the fuck down, getting their work done, coming out with stuff. It's like, hey, good for them. God bless them. I don't. It's like there's nothing worse than people that are doing shit, and even if it's not the greatest shit, but yet. Because of the internet, people just pile on, man. They like to criticize every fucking thing people do in the way of creators. And it's like, yeah, you sit down and put a fucking book together, and you'll see it's not as easy as it looks, man. Yeah. And then to sell it, put it together is almost the easy part. Trying to get people to actually buy the shit and give it a chance with everything that you're competing against, and store owners that just don't want to touch independent stuff. I mean, a lot of stores don't want to buy shit. They don't want to buy Simone's book. It's fucking Thor, painted book, with Marvel behind him, and that's having a hard time selling. So imagine this indie stuff. Yeah. So, it's like you just got to keep moving forward. You're like those fucking wildebeest on the Serengeti. You just got to keep running.
So you said you'll have some stuff by April?
12 is done, and it's I wasn't sure if I was going to put it out or just go right to the trade, but I'm like, no, fuck it, I'll put it out. So I got that, and I'll have the second trade is in going to be in previews, the January previews.
Oh, cool.
The guy was busting my balls today. I don't know if it's going to make the January previews, but it's definitely January or February. It'll be out in March. So I'll have that. I'm doing the Absolute. I'm printing that in China so I can keep the cost, at about $50 instead of, the $100 variety. And I had a couple independent things I was gonna stray away from Atomica and do, but then I sat down and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, man? I want to really finish up this annual and just do lots of, originally the way I was going to do it was I was going to get a couple of guys that I admired to do little stories for me, little 4-pagers. Kind of like Tales of Atomica kind of thing with some of the other smaller characters in the book. The problem is you got to become the fucking guy who's calling up saying, hey, where's your shit all the time? And I'm just not that guy. So I just finally said, you know what, guys, fuck it. I'm going to do it myself. And no offense, I'm not going to wait on these guys. So I'm just going to, Alex was nice. He offered to do something for me. I said, hey, man, anything you want to do. So he might be doing an Atomica origin spread for me, and he wants to do the Atomica wraparound cover for the Absolute.
Nice.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I told him, maybe do what he did with Marvels, do the letters, and then just do paintings inside the letters of Atomica for the slipcase. Mm-hmm. But he's busy as shit, and but I'm really gonna, now that I've got winter's coming in Chicago, and you're like Kurt Russell in The Thing. I can actually sit down and get a lot of shit done. Oh, you know how it is. I mean, you just your productivity goes up at home because you just can't go out as much.
Yeah.
Fucking Chicago winters, man. It's like shaking hands with the devil. Fucked up over here, man. You fantasize about San Diego when you're losing money.
Yeah, those winters, they keep you home. When was Anna born again?
Yeah.
Well, trust me, that ain't happening this year. That ain't fucking happening this year.
Well, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that Atomica. I want that. And I actually looked. I'm actually standing in front of my collection and pants. I should have had you grab. Oh, I don't know if you had Atomica in New York or did you do Atomica in New York or Alex?
No,
Ross?
it was the Alex Ross Love Fest.
Oh, right. I need issues 9 and 10 and 11, I think. So, but when you get 12 out, I told you before, we'll do a whole episode on the book.
Well, you know what? Again, it's done. It's
It's at the printer, but I don't know. But then I decided, you know what? Am I going to solicit it, or am I just going to go to the trade? Because some of the guys I talked to are like, don't even bother with the single issues anymore because people don't buy them. They're waiting for the trade. But then you know what? I had the whole thing all lined up to do a single issue. I got 2 kick-ass covers by Glenn Fabry. He did the front and the back cover for it.
Cool.
I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Fucking waste the covers, you know? And so I'm like, look, I know the print run is not going to be off the charts, but I'm going to do it anyway. You know, and then the trade is the trade, whatever it is. And then the Absolute I'm really excited to do, only because now if you do it overseas, you can really keep your costs down. I don't know if that bottomed out, though, that whole market for the Absolute editions. It was really popular for a while. But people, I think, got a little tired of them.
I think it's still depending on. I mean, you know, some of the publishers maybe they're running out of things to put in that format that sort of deserve that format.
Well, I don't know. From the people I talked to, the retailers, they said that just it came. The economy went, and people just didn't want to be dropping $100 on hardcovers. You know, it was kind of like they had their time. They were really popular. I loved them. I bought them like crazy, especially. You know, the one for Ronin and the Watchmen one, and that book that Darwin Cook did. Was it Final Frontier?
New Frontier,
yeah. New Frontier. Those were all great Absolute editions.
Yep.
But then they quit selling.
So I think the publishers. It was like the Marvel Masterworks. Believe it or not, they're starting to fade some of those out.
Yeah.
They're putting them out as trades now.
Well, they say they're not selling anymore. So I for one was fucking eating them up because they were finally starting to get to they were getting to the 70s. They were finally starting to get to the runs that I read as a kid.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't love the older stuff. And then they just heard they're finally starting to pull those out now because they're not fucking selling.
Actually, you know what? One last question. You mentioned Marvel 70s. Did you know of, were you a fan of Mike Esposito?
Knew of him. Didn't really, follow him as much as other guys, but yeah, it's again, he's one of those. I revere all the old timers, man. I revere all the guys that that were in the business and kind of, contributed something that we still we don't really. Again, it's kind of sad, and when I'll talk to guys at shows and they'll ask me who I'm a big fan of, and I'll mention 5 artists, and I'm always amazed that fuckers don't know who they are.
Yeah,
and it's kind of sad that, there's hey, look, you're a fan of comics, that's great. I'm not going to be one of those guys that's going to judge people based on their knowledge, but I also think, man, if you like this, you should see that, is how I always look at it.
Yeah. I was thinking of those, just because you mentioned, like, those old Iron Man, George Tuska, Esposito run. Yeah. Yeah,
I was a huge, growing up, I was like, I was at the age where I just bought everything, man. Everything Marvel I bought. I used to even buy the fucking cowboy ones. Until you find out those were reprints, and you're like, what the fuck? That's how I got into Luke Cage. I mean, I became a fan of Luke Cage just because if you didn't get to the store on a certain day, everything was gone. And growing up in an Italian neighborhood, nobody bought the comic with a black guy. They're like, fuck this. So I was like, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care who was on it. I bought it, and I became a huge Luke Cage fan because of that. It was either that or Archie. I bought fucking Archie. My sisters took it. So I was like, I don't want my fucking sisters in my room. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, congratulations on
Thanks,
you and your wife.
Appreciate
And
it.
yeah, that's cool. And
everybody, take a look. I don't know
how it is with it's January. I'm shooting for January previews, but if we don't make the cut because I didn't get the ad, and I was talking to the guy today, so I uploaded my ad for January, full page ad for the Atomica trade. The second trade is a big Gary Gianni cover. Gary Gianni was nice enough to do a painted cover for me. I didn't even fucking ask the guy to do it, and he did it for me. It was a super nice guy.
Nice.
Well, I asked him to do a pin-up, and then he hands over this fully painted fucking cover. I was like, Jesus Christ. So that's the cover, the second cover of the second trade cover is a big Gary Gianni page. So.
Cool. We'll talk about it. We'll give it some props.
Yeah, anybody out there, picks up the January, previews. Because people always ask, hey, what can I do to support the book, man? Tell your store owner to order it. I appreciate everybody buying the individual issues, but telling your store owner is important.
All right, sir.
Thanks for having me on, guys, as always.
Yeah.
Pleasure's
Anytime.
ours. Yes.
It's always great to catch up.
I hope I didn't fucking offend too many people.
Now, you know they'll be clamoring for you to come back in another...
Yeah, you know what?
couple months.
It's like every time I go, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be serious. And I'm going to show everybody how fucking boring I am when I'm serious. You know? Whereas if I don't start talking about cocks and balls, nobody wants to listen.
All right, well,
Be sure to
we'll let
say
you
hi
go.
to everybody. Be sure to
Yep.
tell Jamie I said hi, and everybody, you know, who knew I was coming on and didn't want to, you know.
When they realized it wasn't the guy with the mice, they said, "I'm not coming on."
It's not Bruce Timm. Fuck it, I ain't coming on.
Nah, it's not
But
like
if I don't talk to you guys, everybody have a good holiday.
You as well.
No, you
Have a
too,
nice
sir.
Thanksgiving. You know, and you got a big family, right, for Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah.
We fight over who's going to get the fucking turkey every year, but hey.
Now, we eat, we drink, we have fun.
Good. Yeah. And then we got to figure out who's going to give jagoffs rides home who don't have cars.
Right. It's usually me.
Yeah, well, the beauty of having kids is, hey, man, got the baby seat. Got no room. That's the shit I pull now. Guys, got no back seat. Sorry. Yeah, I'll give you money for a fucking cab. Listen, who the fuck doesn't drive, okay? Assholes in my family. That's who. Figure those days are over, guys that don't have cars.
Well, I don't have a car. I can drive, but I don't have a car.
Yeah, but, you know, you're one of those jagoffs that likes to, you know, ask broads for rides, so you got an excuse. I'm talking about grown men with wives and kids who don't have fucking cars.
Oh, wow.
Got to have a car, man. Come on, what the fuck? Like guys in public school that don't have a pencil. I don't have a pencil. Those are the assholes I grew up with. No, I didn't know I needed a pencil and paper. You're like, oh, yeah. Okay, what'd you bring? Fucking switchblade? Yeah, you need that, asshole. Can of spray paint. And a Polaroid of Jesse bent over a sink.
Oh.
Listen, you're always sticking up for Jesse. You don't know that fucker very well.
I don't think up for him.
You're always going, oh, poor Jesse. Poor Jesse? How about poor Sal? I put up with that fucking guy. And tell that jagoff, I better not see him with that Star Wars outfit on. What is it? No, what did he say he was? He's the guy on the motorcycle? Is that the one he is?
No, he's the snow trooper. He's the one from...
Yeah, that's even more fucked up than the other one. Snow Trooper. Is that the guy that was on the Tauntaun or whatever the fuck it was? Or what is that?
Yeah, the Ice Planet.
That's the second movie,
Yep.
right?
Right.
Is that the Snow Trooper? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, you know, he's in Pennsylvania. He'll fit right in. Okay, gentlemen.
All right, Sal.
MercuryComics.com if anybody wants to know anything. Otherwise, nag the fuck out of me on Facebook. I'm still doing those sketches of the day and all the rest
They're
of that
beautiful.
shit.
Yep,
Anybody
they're
wants to see
awesome.
what kind of bullshit... I don't even know if anybody sees those fucking things anymore.
I
but
do.
still do 'em.
I see him every time you put him up.
But, you know, you start to think, you know how it is. You think you're just pissing in the wind. You think nobody sees those fucking things anymore, so...
They're a good exercise. Everybody should
I do
try
them
to do
because I like to do them. I don't need, you know... I'm not looking for people to go, hey, I'm just, you know, you just like to think, okay, somebody fucking sees them. You don't have to like them. You know, hey, what the fuck is that? Is it upside down? But just at least see them.
Yeah, you had a Spider-Man one the other day that I saw.
Saw the one about Chuck E. Cheese. So
Yeah, okay.
they're out there.
Because my wife is, you know, the only one I could show my work to. She's like, oh, wow, what's that? I'm like, oh, fuck, never mind.
I just wondered why you had Jim Morrison on as your Facebook profile.
I was a
picture
big
one.
Doors fan in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, back when I, you know, still smoked and had my Mustang, and I sold the Mustang and quit smoking, and my life went fucking out of control. I met Buzz, and it was all over.
You got them all in. You got Jesse, Chris, Tiz, and Buzz. You got them all in.
Well, listen, next time I'm on, I got to tell you the story about how Ty locked himself in the fucking bathroom in Lucca.
Inside the bathroom.
He locked himself in the fucking bathroom. And this cocksucker works at a bank. Can you imagine this? This is the fucking guy you give your money to invest? He locked himself in a fucking bathroom. Right? This is something out of a fucking Paris Hilton documentary. Me and that yellow bastard Fletch wouldn't have come along. He'd still be here right now. How the fuck you locked yourself in a bathroom is what I want to know.
I guess he found a way.
Listen, next time I'm on, I'll tell you all the bullshit that went on in Lucca.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks again, man.
All right, Sal.
Yep.
Always a
You
pleasure.
behave.
Take care of yourself.
All right. Good night.
Yep.
All right.
Good night. Bye.
Bye. Ah, yes. Another story time with Uncle Sal.
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned Mercury Comics, also Alex Ross Art. You can go check out both those sites and look at some really cool stuff.
Awesome. If you want to send us an email, you can contact us. We're at comicgeekspeak@gmail.com. Visit our website. We're at comicgeekspeak.com. If you want to leave us a voicemail, the number is 267-702-6642. Also, it's the same as 26770-COMIC. Visit thecomicforums.com and talk back about this episode and all the other episodes and everything else. I want to thank everybody who's donated money to the show. We really appreciate it and couldn't do without you. And as always, we're uniting the world's mightiest heroes, one listener at a time.